Hello, everyone, and welcome to Northdale Middle School at the John Petruccelli Pool for CTN's live presentation of girls high school swimming. I am Howie Shapiro, and we're joined by a very, very special guest, Jamie Law. Thank you, Jamie. We certainly appreciate it. There's your FaceTime, so you get a little bit TV time going, but thank you so much for helping out. We really appreciate it.
I enjoy the opportunity.
First event is the 200-yard medley relay. In lane 2 for Champlin Park, it's Chase Crookson, Lydia Lindell, Isabel DeShepper, and Aaliyah Khan. Lane 3 for Coon Rapids, Ella No, Evelyn Altepetter, Elizabeth Hogarth, and Gwendolyn Shuda. Lane 4, Champlin Park, Haley Nguyen, Sierra Emery, Kylie Smith, and Yasmin Kakish. For Coon Rapids, Laura McCarr, Sophia Picat, Michaela D'Souza, Aubrey Hoverstein, and then lane 6 for Champlin Park, Kaylee House, Brooklyn Pullman, Tori Carlisle, and Quinn Thompson. This is a pretty good Champlin Park team, Jamie, and and they're pretty deep, as maybe pun intended, as you had mentioned. So the Cardinals certainly, they're a team that may have their work cut out a little bit for them, but as we always talk about, it's about improving your times and just having a lot of fun doing what you're doing.
Exactly. And Coon Rapids, this is only their third dual meet. They had 2 weeks without any dual meets, so this is their first dual meet in a couple weeks. And it's Doug's trying out some different lineups tonight. He had a couple meets to start the season with Blaine and Elk River that he wanted to see what he had for depth. And this meet he's trying to see what people can do besides their best events. So I think he's looking for some kids to come out of the woodwork in some different events.
Well, I know he's really done a nice job with this program since he has taken over, and I know he's been able to recruit a lot of kids to come swim, and so it's been great to see.
He has. He's done a nice job. He's an excellent stroke technician, and he's got a nice coaching staff around him. Carol Wieland and Ashley Radis have been around for a while, and of course his diving coach. They've done a nice job. Their numbers aren't as high this year as they've been in the past couple years. Obviously, we'd like to see a few more girls. But I think he's happy with the girls he has here, and they're hard workers. They just had a win in the medley relay. I'm not sure if that's the best time of the season, but they had a couple nice swims, and then some girls swam some different events here. Laura swam backstroke, and she doesn't usually swim the backstroke. So, like I said, he was trying some different events for his girls.
So it looks like Champlin, let's see, we'll take
second and third.
Second and third, correct.
And so the scoring 8-4-2, so Coon Rapids wins the event. 8 and Champlin Park, by taking second and third, stays close with 6 points. Yep.
Right. That's a good start for the Cardinals. They'll take the wins that they can get, and we always talk about good to get a first place finish, but it takes an opportunity to get. So we'll be back. We'll be back after this one with the 200-yard freestyle.
Okay, I have a couple good ones for you, Joe. How do football players stay cool? By standing next to the fans. What kind of tea do football players drink? Penalty. Why can't you play football with pigs? Because they hog the ball.
There you see the score. Coon Rapids 8, Champlin Park 6 after the one event. We're about to get into the 200-yard freestyle. Lane 2 for Champlin Park is Hannah Mayer. Lane 3 for Coon Rapids is Aubrey Hoverston. Lane 4 for Champlin Park is Sophia Norstead. Michaela D'Souza for Coon Rapids in lane 5. Maddie Kirsten for Champlin Park in lane 6. And then Lily Brummett in lane 7 for the Cardinals.
This is an interesting race because it's not a sprint by any means,
right.
But if you take it out too slow, you never get enough going in the second half. It's kind of similar to running a 400. If you go out too fast, you pay for it at the end. And these girls are trying to take this out quick enough to get a good time, but have enough left at the end that they're not dying.
When you coached, and you coached for quite a long time, and you're still involved, obviously, in this program, did you have a consistent message to your swimmers? I mean, was there something that you offered advice to them before every meet started?
Well, I've always told the athletes, it's the work you put into practice is what comes out of the meets. And if you don't put anything into your practice, you don't get anything out of the meets. And it's just like it's your banking.
Right.
And the more you put into practice, the more you receive in the meets. And Doug gets a good job. He gets the most out of his girls at practice, and I think the girls will be the first ones to say that they don't ever leave here with a lot of energy. So
looks like Norstead, I think, for Champlin Park, and with a pretty healthy lead.
She's out to a nice start. You like to see those second and third splits. Now her third 50 was a 32.4. You'd like to see that last 50 be as about the same speed, not have it go up too much. So maybe we come back in a 32 low. The two girls, Michaela and Aubrey just came out of the medley relay.
Right.
So I think they're feeling a little bit of that 50, but you should be able to swim a 50 and get back in the water and be able to go a decent 200. New events. They're normally the 50 sprinters, and they're trying a little longer distance today.
And Norstead will take first. Champlin Park will also take second. And Maddie Kirsten will finish second. And I believe they will also take third.
Yes.
Yeah, Hannah Mayer is going to finish in third for Champlin Park. D'Souza is going to finish in fourth, Hoverstein in fifth, and then Brummett finishes in sixth place. So big win for Champlin Park.
Anytime you can go 1, 2, 3 in an event, it's a big win point-wise.
We'll be back with the 200-yard IM right after this.
Want to know the who, what, when, and where of Coon Rapids? Then follow CTN on social media. It's that simple. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, keep up with local news, sports, and events. And the people who make our community such a great place to live. So give us a follow, like, share, or subscribe, and always be the first to know what's up in Coon Rapids. That's CTN, helping you stay connected.
Welcome back to Northdale Middle School. Big win for Champlin Park in that last heat. They took first, second, and third to take the lead 19-11. And we will start the 200-yard IM varsity. Emma Hennefield in lane 1 for Champlin. Iris Cruitt in lane 2 for Coon Rapids. Elizabeth Mayer for Champlin Park in lane 4. Carrie Hartung in lane 5 for Coon Rapids, and Ella Swanson in lane 6 for Champlin Park as we're about to start this one.
Another 200-yard race.
Yep.
This one showing off all 4 of the competitive strokes that are used. Starting with the 50 butterfly. It's a taxing stroke to do, but the kids that do it well make it look easy. And Elizabeth from Champlin Park's out to a nice start.
Yes.
Looking relaxed, keeping it long. Turns in a nice first split of a 31.25.
You know, it's also really important that the turn you get off the wall too, and
Right.
and she's really been able to increase her lead as Mayer in lane 4 for the Rebels.
I try to impress upon the young swimmers and the older swimmers that it's not a place to rest. Actually, it's a place to pick up speed, because you're pushing against that wall. The more time you spend on the wall, the more time you lose that momentum you carry into the wall. So you want to get off those walls quickly.
Yeah, she's pretty much coasting to this win so far.
This is a tough turn. Some will go with a flip turn, but most will do an open turn, so you get a good breath of air.
Right.
So you get a good pull out on the breaststroke. Our two officials tonight are watching for all the pull-outs, and they're obviously, there's things they're looking for. You can only take one pull, one kick under the water,
Right.
one dolphin kick before you come up. So, I mean, not only do you have to swim well, you have to do the little things correct on the turns and off the walls.
Right. Yeah, and Mayer's just she's doing her thing. She's definitely as you mentioned, she looks relaxed for in the pool, and just
She's got 4 solid strokes, and that's what it takes to be a good IMer. You can maybe hide one stroke that's a little bit off, but you can't hide 2 or 3.
I would imagine not.
And for training purposes, I mean, most of your training is done with the freestyle, because it's a stroke that you can do a lot of yardage in relatively easily and train. But these other strokes, you don't do as much at practice.
Right.
And so when you come to competition, it shows. I mean, usually the freestyle is pretty solid at the end, but
Right.
she had four nice 50s of the 4 strokes. So yeah, turned in a nice time.
Champlin's going to take 1, 2, and 3 again. That's another big win for the Rebels. And Hartung will finish in 4 for the Cardinals, and Pruitt will come in 5th. And the Rebels are definitely going to be increasing their lead. Definitely increase their lead here after this event.
Yes, they did.
All right, 50-yard freestyle, JV. There will be 3 heats for this event. Our first one will be a Champlin Park only event.
So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the Joe's favorite, the 50 free.
Howie, do you know why fish are so bad at volleyball? Because they're afraid of the net.
Why me?
Why couldn't the volleyball player cross the road? There were too many bumps. Why was Cinderella kicked off the team? Because she ran away from the ball.
I hate you. Welcome back. You see the score 32-14 in favor of Champlin Park. They've really been able to balloon their lead, Jamie, and by last 1, 2, and 3 finishes for them really is pushing them away from the Cardinals in the score.
Getting outscored by 10 points in the first 2 individual events is hard to combat.
For the 53, Addie Stover for Champlin Park in 2, Ella No for Coon Rapids in 3, Aaliyah Khan in 4 for Champlin, Ava Weber in lane 5 for Coon Rapids, Mari Lashinsky in lane 6 for Champlin Park, Elizabeth Hogarth in lane 7 for Coon Rapids, and Chase Cookson in lane 8.
And this is a sheer sprint, and it's all about strength.
The splash and dash.
Yep. You can't make any mistakes on your start and turn if you want to get a good time, but you get away with some errors on the stroke.
Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Champlin Park.
And you can only score three swimmers in each event, so lane 8 won't score against him. But
Correct.
it is another 13-3.
Yep.
Doug is trying some different things at Coon Rapids tonight, swimming some girls who haven't had a chance to swim these events, mixing up a little bit. So these are girls that don't usually see the 50 freestyle, but they get a chance to give it a shot and see if they how it feels and how they do.
Hey, this is an opportunity for them to do it. You might as well.
Yes.
We're going to take another break, and we're going to be back with diving competition after this. Welcome back to Northdale Middle School pool. Actually, the John Petroselli pool here, and the score is 45-17 in favor of Champlin Park. They've really increased their lead. We're going to get away with diving here shortly. As soon as he puts his headphone on, we're also joined by head coach Doug Donaldson, as he's going to join us for the diving portion. So I'm going to say the depth of swimming knowledge here with me in the booth is amazing. Between Jamie Law and Doug Donaldson, years and years of experience. So
I swung for the fences on this one.
Yeah. Well, welcome,
Yeah.
by the way.
I knew Joe wasn't going to be here, so we had to go with an A-list team, right?
Well, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, Joe could have done it by himself, but because they have me, they have to call in the top-notch talent just to get through this one. But there you see us, the three of us, and we certainly appreciate all of the help you guys give us.
All right, our first diver, Haley, will be doing dive 101A, forward dive straight, 1.4.
Haley Nolan will start off the dive, and Doug, feel free to mention anything you need to. Feel free.
What was that, Howie?
I said feel free to say whatever you need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're having a little technical difficulties with Doug's headset, so he's hopefully hearing what we're saying here. First one, second diver, Jocelyn Hudak, Coon Rapids. So back dive with a half twist straight.
Good body control.
Not bad at all.
Nice score.
It's hard to
5,
do
4.5,
sometimes
and
on those
4.5.
half twists, too.
Yes.
There you see it again. Nice, pretty nice entrance in the water. Get her legs as straight as she wanted. Lucy Jankosa for the Cardinals will dive next. Lucy with a forward, with a somersault, a twist, and a free.
A little short on the full somersault, but she was able to stick it by getting her feet in first, arms at the side.
A 5, a 4, and a 4.5.
Forward one somersault, half twist, 3, 1.7.
Gabby Arias for Champlin Park will dive next. You see the replay on Lucy's dive. Forward somersault, half twist free. And a 4.5s across the board.
22.95. Next on deck is Kennedy, 5121D, forward one somersault, half twist, free, 1.7.
Kennedy's a great story. You could maybe talk after her dive. a nice dive.
Kennedy is a senior, decided to come out to join the team this year. We're really excited to have her. She's got previous gymnastic experience, and obviously is a school record holder in the pole vault and hurdles, so she's quite an athlete too.
She's an athlete, and a nice score.
It's showing already in her dive. She's doing really well this year. Very excited to have her.
Marley Kirsten for Champlin Park diving next. Back with a somersault half twist free. Scores.
The other really nice thing about having Kennedy on the team is between her and Lucy, you know, we have 2 seniors. We have 6 or 7 divers on the team, so we kind of have like a mini team over there on the diving end. So it's nice to have some leadership on that end to really help them.
That's great. That was Delilah Smith Jeanette. That was a nice dive.
Very nice dive.
Yeah.
And nice scores to boot. 6.5, 6.5, and a 6.
And she had a full twist opposed to the half twist on this. The other divers are doing it with a half twist. She did it with a full twist.
Yeah. She's been
nice.
putting a lot of work in. She actually is diving at the U on a couple days a week. So
wonderful.
Especially during the summer.
Was it Jocelyn Hudak? We start this round 2. Forward 1.5 somersault with the tuck. She's going to score 4s.
Nice dive.
Next up is Lucy, 104C, forward 2 somersault tuck, 2.2.
Should be a fun one here.
Lucy Juncosa, forward with.
Get up and rip it.
Yeah, going to have to get some height on this one, I would imagine.
Not bad. Forward 2 somersaults, tough.
Yep.
Yeah. Almost came out of the tuck, like completely. It was right there.
But the DD was 2.2, very high DD, which is what you need to score well with.
Yeah.
2.2 is a good DD.
Gabby Arias next for Champlin Park. Back with a somersault half twist free. 5 and 2 4s.
22.1. Next up is Kennedy.
I believe she's a 7th grader for Champlin Park.
Oh, wow.
Forward 1 somersault, 1 twist, free, 1.9.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Kennedy Martinson again.
Nice.
Got a little forward on the
Yeah,
board.
I don't think she landed within the water the way she wanted. Just 3.5s.
But she failed that dive at one of our previous meets, and so it's good to see her rebound, get that dive. Maybe not quite how she wanted it, but doing it legally again is good.
That is
Marley
good.
Kirsten. She's able to get some nice extension from the board. Got a couple of 4.5s and a 4.
Delilah, 103B, forward 1.5 somersault pipe, 1.7.
Delilah Smith Jeanette for the Cardinals.
Wow.
That was a very nice dive. It was a forward with a 1.5 somersault and a pipe.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was. Look at those scores: 7 and 2 6s.
32.3. Beginning round 3.
It's all about body control. You know where you are in space, and she knew exactly where she was, and she stuck it when she got in the water. Very nice.
We'll start round 3 now with Jocelyn Hudak.
just straight up the legs. It was right there. It was right there.
It sounds easier than it is.
I'm sure. I don't doubt that for a moment.
18.
She's made a lot of improvement, though, on
has.
especially a dive like that.
From last year to this year, Ace has done a nice job with these girls, starting with the beginners all the way through the experienced divers.
Okay.
It was
All
Lucy
right.
Juncosa.
Not bad. It came up a little short on the entry, but
It's a
is
really
legal
hard dive
yes.
to do well, but it's such high degree in difficulty, it's worth the risk. And she got 4s on it. She scored 26
Yeah,
points. So,
exactly.
I mean, it's hard not to say, like, that's a dive you should do.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
It
Gabby
is all
Arias.
about getting the DD up. Right.
She's got some nice extension and pretty good job getting straight in the water. A couple of 4.5s and a 5.
Next up is Kennedy.
I think that's what's nice about the Coon Rapids program. You've got some experienced divers working with your beginning divers. You need those experienced divers doing the tougher dives to say, hey, it can be done.
Again, nice dive. Got the nice extension off the board, 5.5s.
Yeah, really good dive for her. Very gymnastic type dive, too, right? So
Yes,
back
exactly.
layout is what they call it. So
Marley with
this is why gymnasts transfer while they're diving,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of similarities that can really apply.
But they really do hate landing on their heads in gymnastics, which is hard to transfer that over to diving.
Marley Kirsten.
Very nice dive.
Yeah. Very
And for
solid.
some reason, reverse dives for gymnasts are always a problem. I don't know why. You know, they do backflips all the time. I don't get it.
Yeah, you would think that wouldn't be a problem.
Next up, Delilah with 104C, forward 2 somersault tuck, 2.2.
Delilah Smith Jeanette to close out round 3. It was a good
Came out a little
but-
too early.
Yeah.
20.9.
And her scores will reflect that, a 3.5 and 2 3s.
But once again, there's the benefit of DD.
Jocelyn,
The dive didn't go well at all
inward 1 somersault
for her
tuck,
standards, and
1.6.
still scores 20-some points on it. I mean, it's simple math,
Yeah, absolutely.
but that's why they push the DD.
Jocelyn Hudak gets us started in round 4.
That was a nice dive.
Yep. She scored a couple of 4.5s and a 3.5.
Next up, Lucy, 201A, back dive straight, 1.7.
Nice dive.
Very pretty. Yep.
Yep. And her scores, a little. There he goes. 2 5.5s and a 5.
Gabby, 201A, back dive straight, 1.7.
Gabby Arias with a couple of 4.5s and a 4.
22.10. Kennedy doing dive number 5223B. Back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free, 2.3.
Brings back to Kennedy Martinson.
Tough dive here.
Yeah.
Just the elevation off the board.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, that was a 2.3 in terms of
She really
difficulty.
should, I think. I don't know. I think she should probably start trying to do 1.5 on that. Really. She's getting her feet. She's getting over so far. But.
Yes.
1.7.
She definitely has good board control.
Yeah.
Bring us to Marley Kirsten. Her 4th dive.
Next up is Delilah with 401B inward dive type 1.5.
Delilah Smith Jeanette here with her 4th dive as well. That was a pretty
good
dive.
makeup dive.
Very nice dive.
26.25.
Yeah, nice score, 6.5 and 2 5.5s.
With a relatively low
Yep.
Forward
DD.
1 somersault, half twist, free, 1.7.
We start round 5 now with Jocelyn Hudak.
Nope. She
See, I
fought
don't
to get
know.
she fought to get that half twist in.
They're discussing whether or not she got around on the twist. I think they're scoring it.
Yeah, we'll see what they offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, two. They scored it, a 3, a 2, and a 1.
52.21D. Back
I'm really proud of
1
Jocelyn, though.
somersault,
She,
half twist, free,
when she first started
1.7.
diving, she really didn't know how to do a somersault off the board, and she has come a long way.
That was Lucy Jankosa. Got a little elevation and nice dive.
Yep.
3 5.5s.
28.05. Next up is Gabby.
She is our lead diver at this point.
Reverse dive tuck, 1.6.
Again, brings up the 7th grader for Champlin Park, Gabby Arias.
There's that reverse dive.
Yep.
Go off forward and you have to reverse your momentum and go back towards the board. A tough dive for people to pick up.
I would imagine.
1.5.
We are back
I believe Kennedy just learned this dive
just
this week.
This week?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's new. So we'll see how she can do.
Nice.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, she got some nice height off the board. Good approach in the water.
Wow.
Good score. 6, a 5.5, and a 5.
Next
Very
up
nice.
is Marley, 104C, forward, 2 somersault tuck, 2.2.
Brings back Molly Kirsten. Got a run on the somersault. 2 5s and 4.5.
39.9. Delilah, 202A, back, 1 somersault straight, 1.7.
Delilah Smith Jeanette again with her 5th dive coming here. Back with a somersault and a straight. It's a nice approach into the water.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it should score well. Yeah, 2 6s and a 5.5.
7.5. Beginning our final round of guiding is Jocelyn with 202C, back, 1 somersault tuck, 1.
We are in round 6 of the last round. Jocelyn Hudak with her last dive of the evening.
Score is 15.
Started leaning back a little bit on that dive, and that caused her to be quite a ways from the board.
1.6.
Rather than going up, falling back, you travel a little bit further. Not quite as much height.
You see
Just a little
Gentosa.
bit too much bend,
Yep.
but
Yep.
that's going to get good scores.
Yeah, 2 5s and a 4.5. It's solid.
23.2.
Nice.
Gabby, 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6.
Gabby Arias now with her final dive. Forward half somersault, 1.5 somersault and a tuck. Scored a 4 and 2 3.5s.
Very respectable score for a 7th grade diver.
Kennedy's going to do the exact same dive.
A little more polished.
Yep. Pretty good score.
Nice.
6, 5.5, and a
Very
5.
nice. Very, very nice.
Marley Kirsten with her final one of the evening.
1.6.
That came a little too close to the board for my comfort.
She knew it in the air,
Yeah.
and there's nothing you can do as a diver
Well, I
at that point
suppose.
than just pray.
Yeah,
right?
pray you don't.
And,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking. 4, 2.5, and a 2.
Delilah, 52.21.
This will be Delilah Smith Jeanette's final dive. Back with a somersault, half twist free. 1.7 degree of difficulty. It was a nice, solid dive. 6 at 6.5 and a 5.5.
so if she does what she could have done on that front double somersault, I mean that would be a really, 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 really nice score.
Yeah.
Yeah. 174, certainly around what she's been this season. She's
Right.
been 180.
Okay.
That's right in the middle of what she's been, but it could have been 190 maybe if she had really
If
nailed
had
that.
done that one correct. That one is best as she could. Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for diving, and we certainly appreciate what you bring.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for taking your time. What are your quick thoughts before we go to break?
Well, I think we just got first, second, and third in diving, so that will certainly help the score a lot.
Oh, that will definitely help the score.
Other than that, hey, look, it's senior night, it's parent night. I just want them to enjoy it, have fun, go out, give it their best effort, try to have some good races. Champlin Park's pretty tough.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you know, we're just trying to get better with every race. We're not really focused on the other team right now. We're just worried about ourselves and trying to improve. So.
Hey, but a first, second, and third in diving, that's
I'll take
impressive.
It. I'll take
Absolutely.
it anytime.
Why
yeah,
not?
I'll take
Absolutely.
It. I'll take it. We have first in the medley relay, first, second, third, and I'll take it.
Well, you definitely will. Well, cool. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate everything you do for us, and good luck for the rest of the meet.
Thank you. Stay cool up here.
Yeah, it's not bad with the fan on. We'll be back with the I believe it's the 100 butterfly coming up next. Back to Northdale Middle School pool for the 100-yard butterfly. There you see the score, 48-30 in favor of Champlin Park. A 1-2-3 finish in diving for Coon Rapids. That was excellent. Great to see, Jamie.
It was. They put on quite a performance there at their divers.
So Emma Hennefield for Champlin in lane 2, Michaela D'Souza for Coon Rapids in lane 3, Mari Lashinsky for Champlin in lane 4, Gabrielle Lewis for the Cardinals in lane 5, Sadie Alger for Champlin in lane 6, Elizabeth Hogarth for Coon Rapids in lane 7, and then Yasmin Kakish in lane 8, who's also a 7th grader for Champlin Park.
This is an event where Coon Rapids has been struggling to get 3 athletes to compete in the varsity level.
Okay.
And tonight he's thrown he's got 3 swimmers in there. Gabby's done it a couple times, or Ella Lewis has done it a couple times, but Elizabeth and Michaela's first time this year, I believe. We're waiting for the official on the far side of the pool. Our starter is not here.
Ah. No backup starter?
Okay. I see the other officials looking for her. Here she is.
Okay, there we go.
We are ready for the varsity heat of the 100-yard butterfly. In lane 2, Emma Hennefield. In lane 3, Michaela D'Souza.
And they're off to a start here. Champlin Park's got a solid butterfly crew with Lashinsky, Alger, and Hennefield.
Martinsky right now in the lead, but it's tight.
Michaela's been doing the 50 butterfly and the medley relay. She hasn't tried the 100-yard butterfly, but she's off to a nice start.
Sadie Alger, I think, is close on Lashinsky's tail. It'll be Lashinsky, Alger, and then Gabby Lewis, I believe, in third right now. No,
Michaela D'Souza.
Yep. Michaela D'Souza in third. My bad.
Yeah, this is the race where you want to, you come up both arms out of the water at the same time, and you want to stay low in the water. The higher you lift out of the water, the more work you have to do to get up there. So you want to stay low in the water, and you're doing a nice job staying low. Taylor's feeling a little bit at the end of the race here, but she's going to have a nice time for the first time swimming it this year.
Well, Lashinsky will take first, Alger will take second, and Hogarth for Coon Rapids will take third. So a first and a second for Champlin Park and a third for Coon Rapids. And D'Souza's finishing 4th. Hennefield in 5th. Lewis in 6th. And Kakish in 7th.
Some very nice swims there.
Our next event coming up after this will be the 100-yard freestyle.
Ready for event 13, the JV heat of 100-yard freestyle.
So we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with that one right after this.
Did you know that a player will jump an average of 300 times per game of volleyball?
Wow. And I think jumping up to go to the fridge is hard.
The fastest volleyball serve was over 83 miles per hour.
Yikes. If that serve were coming at me, they could have the point. I like my hands. They're dainty.
Huh?
Welcome back. Head coach Doug Donaldson. He's been kind of moving his lineup around, doing a little experimenting, doing little things here tonight. 59-35, Champlin Park leading at this point, Jamie.
Anytime you're doing a little changing around, the score is not important. It's getting these kids an
Right.
opportunity to try some new events.
100-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Lily Brummett, Coon Rapids. Lane 2, Hannah Mayer of Champlin Park. Lane 3, Aubrey Hoverson of Coon Rapids. Mira Gupta in lane 4 for Champlin Park. Laura McCarr in lane 5 for Coon Rapids. Tori Carlisle in lane 6 for Champlin Park. Ava Weber in lane 7 for Coon Rapids. And Faith Jacobson in lane 8 for the Rebels.
Laura's out to a strong start in lane 5. Turning at the 50 at 29-2.
That's Laura McCarr.
Slight lead over lane 4 and 8. They were right just less than a second behind.
Amira Gupta in lane 4 and Faith Jacobson in lane 8.
See if Laura can finish up this race. And she has a nice finish.
Yeah, so Laura McCarr will take first, Gupta second, and Jacobson third. So Cardinals will take first and
fifth.
Fifth,
First and fifth.
right. And of course, we'll stay here because there's the 500-yard freestyle is next, and there's no JV event, so we will stay here for the varsity 500. So this is the one that the endurance race.
The results after
The
the
500-yard.
Longest race in the high school lineup, the 500-yard freestyle. It's 20 lengths to the pool.
So Lola Sanders will be in lane 2 for Champlin Park. Evelyn Altepeter in lane 3 for Coon Rapids. Emily Whitehouse in lane 4 for Champlin Park. Ella No in lane 5 for Coon Rapids. Olivia Knox in lane 6 for Champlin Park. Iris Cruitt in the lane 7 for Coon Rapids, and Kylie Smith in lane 8 for the Rebels. This is one where you have to pace yourself. I mean, you can get off to a good start, but you got to keep that momentum going through this long race.
Absolutely. They do get the benefit of having a Carter at the other end of the pool that keeps track of their lengths.
Yep.
And actually, the coaches will talk to the athletes before they step up in the blocks, and they'll have a goal in mind, and they'll figure out what they need to be holding per 50, and they can actually translate through the Carter. They need to pick it up.
Oh, that's
or
good.
really pick it up.
Right.
So it's a benefit for those beginning swimmers to say, hey, am I going fast enough? Am I going too fast? As a swimmer, I swam this race. It's always nice to see the cards just go in and stay steady.
Stay steady, because I know they shake them when they
Yes.
need to. They need to hit them to continue to move a little quicker.
If you're on pace, they just go in, and if you're feeling better, you can pick it up if you want,
Right.
but you don't have to.
Right.
You're on pace.
And that's the key.
Joe Thiel from Champlin Park always has a decent distance crew. He was a sprinter himself,
Okay.
and he turns out good sprinters, but he always seems to have a decent distance squad. So something to be said about how he trains his athletes. And you'd think that you'd be doing a lot of distance at practice, but it's not just doing long swims. It's being able to repeat shorter distances at a quick pace with little rest. And it's a different way of training, but you can really get some good distance swimmers that way.
Well, yeah, and it's just a matter of again, I suppose working on this. I mean, how often when you're in practice that you're doing the 500?
Yes.
Is it every day? Is it?
You'll do some longer swims at practice, and you might do a set of 500s. Especially if you're a distance swimmer, you might do some sets of 500, but it's a lot of just sets of 50s and sets of 100s and repeating, and maybe on short rest, but repeating a faster time. And being able to do that at practice is just as important as being able to swim a 500 multiple times at practice at a certain pace. Actually, you can probably swim at a faster pace at a shorter distance and get that same benefit.
Well, and again, learning to pace yourself and learning to to keep steady.
Yes, and it's the importance of how many turns you're going to be doing and how many streamlines. A good turn, I mean, it's not just getting off the wall. It's getting off the wall, getting as far as you can. The further you get off the wall quickly, the fewer strokes you have to take, less energy burnt.
You almost glide through that push off the wall.
Yes, and you're pushing against that solid wall, so you have, and the more you get out of that, the better it is. Nice, Doug does a nice job with his technique work, and he does a nice job with his girls telling him the importance of doing the little things correctly, and their streamlines are always nice, and his Coon Rapids crew.
Right.
And he won't put an athlete in an event that he doesn't think they can do, and obviously these girls were ready to, they're not his normal 500 crew, but they're ready to give this race a shot.
Well, obviously having the experience that he does, being a swimmer, obviously, and knowing what you need to do.
It makes a huge difference. And actually, I think a lot of times a swimmer like Doug, he wasn't the most gifted athlete.
Right.
He worked for everything he got out of swimming, and so he knows that hard work pays off.
Right.
Sometimes those athletes that hop in the water and everything comes natural, and they don't realize the work that has to go. Other people have to go through to get things done.
I would imagine, but it seems like he's patient. I think he must be a patient coach, because he seems like a pretty even keel guy.
He is, and I think that he's an excellent teacher, and that coaching is teaching.
Right.
And if you get the kids, your team, to believe in what you're doing at practice and what you're doing in competition, that will pay off in the competition.
Right.
Half the battle's won. Ella's having a nice race from Coon Rapids in lane 5. Our leader is Lola Sanders. She's a senior from Champlin Park.
In lane 2.
She's been around. She's been one of the top swimmers in the conference in the distance events, and she's showing why she's been one of the top swimmers in the conference in the distance events.
Yeah, I've been watching her, and again, she gets a nice turn and then a nice push off the wall every time she turns.
And you don't want to waste any energy in this race, so you want to keep that nice long stroke, catch the water out front and move it all the way through. Don't short stroke this event. Get as much you can out of every pull, and she does a nice job. As she comes in, and she's gonna, after this turn, she's gonna have a 50 left. The bell lap is coming up here.
Yeah, and again, she had the same steady pace this entire race. It didn't, she just got off to that good start, and she continued to build upon it.
Very nice, and she's got, last 50, she's got that nice kick going, and a kick will get your body position up.
Yep.
If you don't have the kick there, you're running lower in the water, dragging more water. She's got a nice kick going.
Yeah, she is going to win this one. Lola Sanders from Champlin Park will take first place.
With the 4:49.90, I don't know if she'll be that happy with that time, but she had a nice effort.
Well, always good to get that win. And the second place will be Emily Whitehouse for Champlin Park. Third place will be Olivia Knox for Champlin Park. Kylie Smith will take fourth, so Champlin Park pretty much cleaned up in this event.
Coach Donaldson gave us a sheet with their best times on it, and Illinois is just turned in a 9-second drop in that race.
That's great. Yeah, she'll finish in fifth.
And the other two Coon Rapids swimmers have not done this race this year, so I think Elle's going to be, the finish wasn't important.
Yep.
But she didn't need the swimmers next to her pushing her. She just used the feel and the clock, and she had a nice time drop. I think she should be very happy with that swim.
And we're about to finish up this event, but Champlin Park will definitely increase their lead here.
With the 13-3 win in that race.
And that'll do it for the 500 free. Our next event will be the 200-yard freestyle relay, which we will bring to you after this break.
As you know, CTN's on YouTube, and we're on in a big way. We have thousands of videos online to help you stay connected to Coon Rapids on any device, at home, or on the go. And it's because of your faithful viewership that we can celebrate 10,000 subscribers to the CTN YouTube page. Thank you for your support as we continue to keep you connected.
Welcome back to Northdale Middle School Pool. The score is 80-46 in favor of Champlin Park. We are going to move to the 200-yard freestyle relay. Champlin Park, the relay team in lane 2 is Sadie Alger, Brooklyn Pullman, Tori Carlisle, Sierra Emery. For Coon Rapids in lane 3, it's Lily Brummett, Iris Pruitt, Evelyn Altapure, Carrie Hartung. Lane 4, Maddie Kirsten. For Champlin, Aaliyah Khan, Faith Jacobson, and Lauren Retzer. We'll finish that after they get the start. In lane 5 for the Cardinals, Gabrielle Lewis, Sophia Pacat, Elizabeth Hogarth, and Ava Weber. In lane 6 for Champlin, it's Callie House, Cedar McConville, Emma Hennefield, Emily Whitehouse, and then in lane 7 for Coon Rapids, it's Gwendolyn Shuda, Bella Barden, Delilah Smith, Jeanette. So I noticed there's only 3 swimmers for Coon Rapids in this event in lane 7.
Obviously, he's got his numbers are a little skewed, and he can't get 4 swimmers. So he wants to get these kids an opportunity to swim as many events as they can. So he'll put a relay in that has fewer swimmers just to get them
the opportunity. Yep, I get it.
Champlin's off to a lead in lane 4 with their sprinters doing well. Second place is over here in lane 2. Lane 4's got a good race going with from Coon Rapids and the team lane 6 from Champlin Park. I think you always get your best performance when you have someone in there right next to you pushing you. it'll be interesting to see what Coon Rapids' last swimmer can do, Ava Weber.
What was your strategy in terms of how you put your relay teams in terms of who do you usually start first and who anchors it?
Well, you like to have that at the end, your best swimmer.
Yep.
And then usually you lead off with your second best swimmer.
Okay.
And then if you have a weaker leg, it would be your second swimmer. So you have that third swimmer, if you fall a little behind, maybe catch back up, give your lead swimmer a little bit less yardage to catch up if they are behind, or have a slight lead going into the last swimmer spot. Anytime you have swimmers on either side of you dumping water in your lane, you have to swim through that wake, so you like to have fresh water if you can. Hopefully from not being behind,
right,
but being in front.
Champlin Park's going to take 1, 2, and 3 again. A strong event for them.
And in the relay event, a team can only score 2 of their 3 relays they enter.
Okay. So they'll take the first and the second.
This is the junior varsity heat of the 100-yard backstroke. This is Champlin Park.
So we will be back after this. We're going to have the 100-yard backstroke. We are back. The 100-yard backstroke. Lane 1 for Champlin Park is Ella Swanson. Lane 2 is Ella Swanson. Lane 3, Gabrielle Lewis for Coon Rapids. 4, Chase Cookson for Champlin Park. 5, Laura McCarr for the Cardinals. Tori Carlisle is in lane 6 for Champlin. Gwendolyn Shuda in lane 7 for Coon Rapids. And Mia Sanders in lane 8.
100-yard backstroke, and the 3 swimmers for Coon Rapids are first-time swimmers this year in this race. Miss Lewis just hopped out of the 200-yard freestyle relay, and she's right back in the water swimming the 100-yard backstroke. Laura's off to a nice start. She has a beautiful stroke in lane 5 for Coon Rapids. She's a strong swimmer. She's just dealt with some issues with some injuries that's kind of hampered her training, but a very strong swimmer. And for the first time swim this year, she's going to have a decent time. I think Doug is finding that he's got some swimmers that can do some different races for him, which matters in those meets he's got coming up where he's got close competition to his squad.
So Sanders for Champlin will finish in first. Laura McCarr for Coon Rapids in second. Swanson for Champlin in third. Lewis for Coon Rapids in fourth.
Ready for the junior varsity heat of the 100-yard breaststroke.
We'll take a quick break and be back with the 100-yard breaststroke right after this.
All right, Joe. In high school football, the snap ends when A, the ball is moved from its place on the ground, B, the ball leaves the snapper's hands, or C, the ball touches the ground or any other player. You don't have to raise your hand, Joe. Yes, Joe?
I love football.
Ah, yikes.
Welcome back. Champlin Park handily winning this one, 102-54, as we move to the final 2 events of the night, the 100-yard breaststroke coming up here. Addie Stover for Champlin in lane 2, Carrie Hartung In lane 3 for Coon Rapids, Elizabeth Mayer in lane 4 for Champlin Park. Sophia Bacat, in lane 5 for Coon Rapids. Sierra Emery for Champlin Park in lane 6. And Aaliyah Khan for Champlin Park in lane 8.
As I've been watching the meet here tonight, Champlin's got a nice group of swimmers, and they're pretty much all the same speed, which it makes it nice to put a lineup together. You're somewhat interchangeable. If you need to pull a person from an event, you've got another one that is going to be just as fast. That's the difference in this meet between Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids can throw one swimmer in an event, but usually not the second or third before they drop off. But Doug's got a young team, and these girls are going to be around for a while.
Right.
And every swim you learn something from, and obviously Doug's goal is to have his athletes at their best performance their last meet of the season. And he's seeing improvement, but at practices it's geared more towards the end of the season. And once again, Champlin's got 4 girls, and they're pretty much all going to be about the same speed here.
Right. That's nice to have. I mean, you've got that opportunity as they're going to take, obviously, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And the Cardinals will finish 4th and 5th. But Emery is going to take 1st for Champlin. Khan in 2nd, and Stover in 3rd. And Mayer in 4th.
The 400-yard freestyle relay.
We're gonna take a quick break and be back to finish this one up with the 400-yard freestyle relay after this.
Did you know you can raise backyard chickens? But a permit is required, and there's a limit of 4 female chickens per property. No roosters or other fowl are allowed. And there are specific rules for the chicken coop and run. For more information on this and other city codes, log on to coonrapidsmn.gov.
Back for the final event of the evening, the 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane 2 for Champlin Park, Linnea Renz, Lydia Lindell, Ella Swanson, and Emily Whitehouse. In lane 3 for Coon Rapids, Ella No, Iris Cruitt, Ava Weber, and Lily Brummett. In lane 4, we have for Champlin, Mia Sanders, Maddie Kirsten, Cedar McConville, and Lola Sanders. In lane 5 for the Cardinals, it's Michaela D'Souza, Aubrey Hoberston, Gabrielle Lewis, and Laura McCarr. In lane 6 for Champlin Park, Lauren Retzer, Brooklyn Pullman, Emma Hennefield, Chase Crookson. And in lane 7 for Coon Rapids, Carrie Hartung and Bella Barden.
The key to having a solid team year after year is getting these athletes to do some training outside of the high school season. And Champlin has these athletes that have bought into that and stay in shape when the season starts. They're in shape. Doug has got a few kids that do other sports, which is great. I'm all about that. But they don't spend as much time in the pool, obviously, and it shows. But by the end of the season, they've caught up quite a bit. But if you start out a little behind, sometimes you end up a little behind.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Champlin Park is out to a nice start. Coon Rapids currently in 3rd place. And at this point, I think Joe's for the competition has put together some relays on his own team to be competitive.
Well, and this kind of allows you, I suppose, to do different things. And, you know, especially when you have a lead like that, you can have an opportunity to swim maybe some other girls if possible. And, you know, we talked earlier about Doug, and he kind of, changes his lineup a little bit and seeing what kind of combinations he can come up with as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And plus the fact that you want opportunities for younger kids to swim in varsity and put them in situations where it matters. And I think that it's the perfect opportunity. You could put 3 of your normal varsity swimmers and then maybe put a JV swimmer that is going to be up and coming and give them an opportunity to be on a relay.
Yeah, it's, Champlin has put on a nice show here tonight, and as we were talking about Champlin and Blaine kind of vying for that. Blaine, obviously the number one team in the conference, but I believe, correct? Yeah.
Yes. They're currently undefeated. Blaine, and obviously if you look at the board, they've been conference champions for the last 3 years over here at Blaine.
Yep.
I don't think Champlin has ever won a conference championship. I'm sure Joe would love to win one. And obviously the conference is split in half, so you don't see everybody in the conference, and your goal is to be the top of your half.
Right.
And Blaine has been able to win the top half of their bracket every year. So then you'd be swimming the Blaine if you win. And I'm not sure if Champlin and Blaine are on the same side of the conference this year. Laura Mocker anchoring the Coon Rapids relay and then making a run at the Champlin relay in lane 6. And this is kind of thing that you can go a long way with, and Doug can talk to Laura and say, okay, you're not starting at the lead. You're not trying to hang on to it. Your job is to try to catch someone. Let's see if you can do it. She's coming out of the 100-yard backstroke. She's a little bit sore from that, I'm sure.
I am sure of it.
Coach Thiel's trying to get his young swimmer to realize the competition's there. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, the one thing I've always liked about, many things liked about swimming, but is the camaraderie, even amongst opponents in swimming, and the fact that your teammates are always making sure that they do a good job of encouraging you and being supportive.
I mean, you do a lot of training with obviously your own teammates at practice, and there's camaraderie built up there. But in those swimmers that do take the opportunity to swim in off-season, you just get to swim with these kids from the other teams. And that bond you build with them, it makes this competition so much better.
Right.
I mean, it's fun swimming with someone that you've trained with, and you have fun with that.
And that's it. Final swimmer touches the wall. Final event of the evening. Champlin Park is going to win this one handily, and the Cardinals, pretty good effort. They won that the diving, which was nice, 1, 2, and 3, and they won that first place in the first event of the evening. But Champlin Park pretty much controlled it from there on.
And I think both coaches probably were satisfied with how the meet turned out.
Sure.
Coon Rapids was on the short end of it, but we knew going in Doug was going to try some different things.
Yep.
And I've seen all of the Coon Rapids meets this year, dual meets, and his kids just keep improving, and they do the little things correctly, and that's what you want from your team. Do the little things correctly at practice and let it show up in the meet. So kudos to the coaching staff at Coon Rapids.
Well, we certainly appreciate you sitting in with us, saving me anyway from giving the knowledge that you have. You've forgotten more about it than I know, so we certainly appreciate it, Jamie, and really thank you for being a part of this. This is what we have coming up. Tomorrow, a big one. The Cardinal football team is on the road at Rogers. That will be a fun one. Make sure everybody comes out for that. And then we will see volleyball, my first chance to see the volleyball squad on Tuesday, and then boys and girls soccer against Rogers on Thursday. But that's going to do it for us. I want to thank Jamie Law for helping us, Coach Doug Donaldson. I'm going to call you the guru of swimming. And for all the crew, I want to say good night. Have a great one. Thanks for watching.